Good morning, everybody. Welcome on into your FreightWaves Now Community Spotlight on this Monday morning. I'm Kaylee Nix. It's a brand new week, a brand new month, and we are here with the one and only Grace Sharkey. Grace, how's it going? You were on the road last week. It's good to see you back home.
Yeah, as a Midwesterner, this is when you go to Chicago. This is perfect 70 degrees, light wind, and just surrounded by some amazing people in the industry. Shout out to Samsara for sending us out there, and stay tuned for some wonderful content from that event coming to our YouTube page soon as well.
Yeah, the setup that they had you in was really cool. It was like this all glass podcasting studio. Did you feel like you were in a fish tank?
Not while being in there, but from the outside for sure. Actually, a shout out to this girl in the at one of the little like after parties that came up to me and asked me if I was the girl in the box. And so I was like at first confused, but quickly, yeah, that was me. That was the girl in the glass box. So it got a lot of attention. It was a really great setup that they had put together for us too, and really great spot, especially during food times and stuff like that. And I got to interview a lot of people that I've never talked to before. So that was a big part of the thrill for me. It was not only being at an event I haven't been to, but getting to interview companies that I haven't got a chance to sit one on one with as well.
Well, we love it, and we'll be looking forward to seeing some of that content come down the pipeline. Right now, we're going to dig into a pretty interesting topic for the Stockout Community Update today. We're talking about consumer trends broadly, but then we'll zero in on an industry that you and I know quite well. We're talking all about cosmetics today. And starting off with general consumer trends, we'll talk about that first. What are we kind of seeing people continue to spend their money on? Because as we know, people are still spending money.
Yeah, they're spending money, but they're looking for something a little bit more cost efficient. I think that's why we see such an uptick in companies like Shein or Temu, right? Where we're looking to still splurge, but we want to splurge and really watch our dollars as well. And I think the average American is really tracking how they're doing this right now, and more importantly, really focused on spending less money in places that are I'd say a little bit more price sensitive, groceries, electronics, things of that nature. But interesting enough, and we'll get into this, splurging a little bit more on certain areas that I think you and I, right, are a little bit more related on as well.
Yeah, so we're seeing consumers continually spending and splurging a little bit more on cosmetics. And I
Yeah.
think that this is interesting. There's a couple of hypotheses that I can toss out for why I personally am willing to spend a little bit more on that kind of stuff. Starting off with the fact that it is a consumable, but it lasts for a long time. So it feels like if I'm using something that's higher quality, I'm spacing out that purchasing and it justifies it a little bit. Also, because as we know, we're becoming really health conscious, consumers just as a whole. That's kind of a trend. And when it comes to cosmetics, things that you put on your body are just as important as things that you put in your body. Is that kind of what the data is showing as well?
Definitely. I mean, especially what's interesting is we're seeing more and more spending on, I'd say more of like skincare, right? Than we're seeing in terms of like, if we went back a couple of years, right? High quality blushes and high quality bronzers and in different ways to this might be getting too into it, but of course to contour our face, right? Where now the trend is kind of more of like this natural look, but you're right. With that natural look, people are looking for different types of, for all those out there, concealers and foundations that not only are a little bit more natural, but last longer as well. And I think this is interesting to see, especially the top sellers so far this year. We've seen our Sol de Janeiro, which are also trending a lot with the young kids out there. Lip balms and lip glosses are coming back, a more neutral look as well. Translucent loose powders, the things that are going to not only give off a more natural look, but like you said, will last a long time. And I think, of course, make all of us look a little bit more camera ready for the TikTok trends out there as well.
I think it's funny because if you go on TikTok or Instagram, you'll see all of these makeup trends coming back. And a lot of what's going on right
Yeah,
now is called like the clean girl aesthetic, right? Like
yeah,
something I subscribe to. It's like mascara, foundation, concealer, boom, out the door. Takes me like 6 minutes to get ready. But if you flash back like 10 years or so ago, you know as well as I do, 2014, it was all about your heavy handed makeup, your really dark eyeshadows, your thick eyebrows. And now none all of
Yeah.
that has kind of fallen out of fashion. Trend cycles return, and I'm sure that we will see that coming down the road here in just a little bit. But the other impact of this is that we are now seeing these brands answer back to consumers that are demanding these things, dropping new products, dropping products that have cleaner ingredients, that are a little bit more nicer to the skin and kinder to your body. But with that comes often a heftier price tag because manufacturing costs increase. Is that something that we're seeing as well?
Definitely. I mean, there's so many different trends, I'd say, across Instagram, TikTok, that are focused on what exactly are those ingredients that are, high quality and leading to a better skin outcome as well. And I think that's a big part of it is as the consumer becomes more educated about what they're using, that is pushing the companies to focus on some of those higher quality ingredients or trends as well. And I think you're seeing people look at those labels more, and because of that they're tending to spend a little bit more on something that's going to be better for them over time. And yeah, a lot of if you've purchased anything, especially in the skincare arena recently, that is high quality, there is usually a hefty price tag that comes with it as well. So I think that's why we're starting to see it's sometimes this trend is looked at as kind of what we call like the lipstick index, which usually is a sign that we're going into a more weaker economy. But I actually think this time around it's a little less of the lipstick index and a little bit more of just overall consumer trends, not only with our age group, older age groups as well, but we're now seeing, of course, trust me, my niece has Aunt Grace spending high quality dollars on her. The younger kids, Gen Z, is starting to get into their own skin habits as well.
But with the younger generation, they're more fascinated with like the label and the brand name than
Yeah.
honestly sometimes even just the packaging of a product than they are of the actual benefits to it, which is interesting to see. I think that there's kind of this like switch flipping from what I can observe on social media from maybe a beauty influencer who's like in their like early 20s to when they hit that like 25, 26 mark and they're like, "Oh my god, now I actually care about the products, not just about the packaging." This rolls into an interesting point, which I want to finish up with, which isn't on your list of questions, but I know that you'll have thoughts about it, is the rise of celebrity beauty brands and kind of where they
Yeah.
fall into this space. Because as we know, we've seen a ton of them pop up, right? Selena Gomez with Rare Beauty. We saw Hailey Bieber with her Rode platform. I personally just bought like 6 products from Serena Williams' line of Win. Love them. They're amazing.
Nice.
And I will absolutely stand by them as someone who is athletic and tends to work out in my makeup. I love it. But this is like a real trend that we're seeing as well. Is a lot of these people who have found celebrity elsewhere stepping into the beauty game. Why do we think that is, and what effect has that seen on consumers?
I 1,000% agree with you. I think that they're noticing that there is another way outside of the merchandise arena for them to continue to make a dollar off of their fans. I mean, currently, right now, I think I have Lady Gaga's um, uh, eyeliner on and a few others on my face as well. So I'm right there with you in that spending. And I think they've realized the power that it holds and also how lucrative it is. And some of these brands, like for instance, I'm pretty certain Rare Beauty Selena's name was on it, but she's almost more of an investor to face of it as much as she is the day-to-day choices of what they're going to put out there. So it's an easy way to start taking in a different source of income, I think, for them that doesn't mean much of a big finger or a big input on their end. Also, I mean, we've got our own celebrity right here. Thomas Watson's actually getting into the game himself. This is a Thomas Watson lip gloss right here from him and his wife that I've been testing. So even the niche celebrities, right, here at FreightWaves are getting into it as well.
The niche internet celebrity Thomas Wasson producing lip gloss of his own. And Anne, we're not discounting Anne in this process because Anne is a
Yes.
saint and she is absolutely part of the brains behind this operation. You know what? Maybe we'll see Wasson lip gloss. What's their brand name? Do they have one?
They don't have one yet. I've thrown a couple his way, but I'll let him put the name on it when he is ready. But I will say, I mean, packaging wise, like they're killing it. So
Yeah.
shout out to them.
I love that. Maybe we'll see a Wasson gloss make its way into one of the goodie bags at F3 or something like that. Great. As far we've got the stock out coming up here in a little bit under about 20 minutes. What's coming up today on the show?
Well, we got a lot of stuff to get into. We're going to go through Nike's results, which is going to be a huge part of the show. Of course, we'll dive a little bit into the cosmetic sales. Shein's got some news as well as in their marketplace. And of course, we've got some Sonar data we're going to review as well. So make sure you guys check out the episode here in a second.
All right, make sure that you're staying tuned right here on FreightWaves TV. You can find the stock out live at 10 a.m. And if you miss it, find it on reruns on FreightWaves YouTube. Grace, thanks for joining us this morning. We will see you next week.
Thanks, Kaylee.